We welcome you into yet another edition of the Lion Country Key, a Goon and Ironhead show here at Quaker Steak and Lube in State College. It is our Thursday show. We've sandwiched this show right between Wednesday and Friday, just to keep with tradition. That's been traditionally when we do our Thursday show.
Smart move.
We are heading into the weekend. We love the weekend. Last weekend, I was at North Beach down in Dewey, and for those watching the show today, you can see the North Beach t-shirt, at least the top half of it, and their Penn State Day celebration.
It's a little expanded in the belly.
Yeah,
it's got stretched out a little bit in the belly while you were down there.
It's weird. Happened to a lot of our t-shirts, I noticed. Just
free
weird.
beer Byers.
Yeah. Good times.
All you got to do is say Levi Haynes. Levi Haynes.
10 media days continuing, wrapping up today. Kurt Signetti, head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. That would be your national champion.
Correct.
Indiana Hoosiers.
Your defending national champions.
Is currently addressing the media. And I do think, we talked about it Tuesday. The storylines in the Big Ten this year are just absolutely wild. Like it is, if you are on the Big Ten beat in any way, shape, or form, you are licking your chops because no matter how some things develop, you've got stories galore in the upcoming season. And I would say right up near the top of the list is, all right, how does Indiana handle everything that came with the national championship a year ago, and can they sustain the type of success they have had over the first two seasons under Kurt Signetti? And my guess is they'll acquit themselves just fine. Signetti just does not seem like a coach that is going to allow egos to get too big, to allow complacency, all of those things. Now, whether or not they're able to capture the same type of magic that they had with Mendoza, thank you. No, you're good. We will see because, that was special. And it did feel like a lot of things came together, but I think the first thing that came together was having Signetti in charge. And, I don't know where media loves, and I'm part of the media, and I love to do it too. We love putting together lists. Top 10 all-time quarterbacks. Top 10 quarterbacks at Penn State. Top 10 games you've seen at Penn State. Like, we love those lists. Where, as we stand right now, heading into the 2026 season,
okay,
where would you put Kurt Signetti on the list of top coaches in college football?
He's got to be number one. He
just
led Indiana.
Yes, I'm with you. Like Kirby Smart would have to be up there, way up there, maybe number two on that list. Ryan Day certainly would have to be way up on that list. But I don't think there's much of a debate that Signetti right now would be. And again, mind you, he is 2 years into his career as a Big Ten or quote-unquote big-time college football coach. Now, long history before that, I get it. I Googled him, Goon. It turns out he's had success a lot of other places.
So you listen to him.
But right now, I do think like he is the top of the heap. And in the Big Ten, I think it's really interesting because I think clearly, to me, he's number one. I think Ohio State could make a strong case. Hey, hold on a second. Yeah. Ryan Day's still okay.
It's Indiana.
I think that's at least debatable. But I would put Signetti 1, Day 2 right now. And then I think it gets really interesting because you've got a lot of coaches with success for sure throughout their college football careers. But, how do you compare like what Pat Fitzgerald did at Northwestern with what Matt Campbell did?
Kirk Ferentz's tenure has been a long tenure.
Yep. And the consistency with which he has, produced teams year in and year out. I think Greg Schiotto, you ask anybody, he is a great football coach. And, Lincoln Riley certainly has had plenty of success.
He has the ability to do that
throughout his career. I do think this is a really pivotal year for him, pivotal year for Luke Fickell. I think Bob Chesney is going to be a really, really fascinating watch to me out at UCLA. Both this season and certainly over the next few years. I want to see what he's able to establish with that program. I think, you look at Washington, obviously Dan Lanning and Oregon. They may be number 3 right now. Lanning may be number 3 on the head coach list. But there's a lot of guys and a lot of programs that I think are trying to make that move into the upper echelon. But again, we talk about the storylines. To me, Goon, that one of the big storylines is, can anybody kind of get through Ohio State and Indiana here in the upcoming season? And it just does not roll off the tongue that Indiana football is one of the powerhouses that you have to worry about or contend with in the conference. But I really do think they are, and I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't know that they're going to win another Big Ten title, but I would be very surprised if they're not at the end of this season one of the top, let's say 4 programs anyway.
Yep.
in the conference. And
I got
at
another
least
one
knocking on the door, if not in the college football playoffs once again.
So I'm watching the Big Ten. They're having my lunch here, and something jumped out at me I completely forgot about. Chip Kelly's the OC at Northwestern.
Yeah, I will say if you start looking around at the coordinators, we talk a lot about. Well, I talk a lot about the head coaches and just the caliber. High caliber of quality coaches in the Big Ten. You start going through the offensive and defensive coordinators throughout the conference, the number of guys, we have former NFL head coaches that are currently coordinators in the Big Ten. But, there is a lot of star power there. Former head coaches, college head coaches as well, and obviously
NFL head coaches.
A lot of highly rated NFL and college assistants elsewhere before making their hay at their current school. So, again, we'll see how everything unfolds. But I do think that Indiana program is going to be one of the most watched, because I think a lot of folks felt like, all right, he came in and got kind of lightning in a bottle that first season. Let's see what happens in year 2. Well, year 2, they run the table, win the national title, and now it's not so much that I'm, all right, is he really legit? Now, he's legit. The question is, this team this year, what kind of damage can they do in the conference? And I think it's a conference that is loaded. When I said Ohio State, Indiana, I should have thrown Oregon in there. If anybody else could crack
Oregon
those
hasn't
top
won it
3.
yet, so they haven't.
No, but
won
I
it.
think those are clearly the top 3 programs going into this season, and nobody's going to be surprised.
I think it's natty for them or bust at Oregon. They're like, they're going to really start feeling the pressure as coaches and the staff out there.
Yes,
as a program in general.
I don't know about that. There might be some pressure if they get to the national semifinals. They've got to make some noise in the playoffs. I'm not sure. You're talking about a program that is consistently right there, and I don't know that Oregon. I know that they're pouring a lot of money into the program and all of that. I just don't know that the the alumni there necessarily, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know that they necessarily have the same perspective that like in Alabama, Georgia, even Penn State. I mean, I think Penn State fans, and I mean, I'm one of them. I think a little carried away that Franklin's not good enough. Pretty darn good, pretty consistently good, and there's just not a lot of programs that are able to, and a lot of coaches that are able to sustain that type of consistency. So, like if Oregon doesn't make the playoffs this year, if they have a Penn State-like season from a year ago for them this season, yes, he'll be under pressure. If they get to the playoffs and they win a couple of games, yes, there's going to be disappointment. I know. I don't think it's national championship.
No, I think that they want one. They are.
Of course.
They have really bought in for the whole NIL. That's Phil Knight. He's 80-plus years old. He's dying for the natty.
Yep, and if they don't get it this year, guess what? All right, well, next year, look at what we have coming back. That program is at a point. I mean, Penn State felt like it was that did feel like ultimately bust, obviously, but it did feel like title or bust because it felt like they went all in on that one season, and that while they were did a great job at sustained success, relatively speaking, I don't think the thought was there that that next year, if Penn State doesn't get it in 2025, look out 2020. It was like, no, 2025 has to be it. And obviously it was it, just not in the way we were thinking at the time. I don't think it's like that at Oregon, and I just can't see that program having that type of a season. I think they'll be in the playoffs at the very least, and again, they're going to be a team that, regardless of how it finishes up, and yes, they're kind of all in this year, but they have the money there that they're going to be all in 2027. They're going to be all in 2028. Just
I'm
going with you on this one. The Ohio States and the Georgias and those programs are. Texas now.
I think you'll see a lot more of what happened to Penn State in college football with the hired guns out there. I mean, we have talked in the past, like, when are you going to start seeing guys after they lose 2 games in the regular season mailed in saying, I'm getting ready for the NFL draft? We had talked about that in the past, but here we are right now, and these guys are, they're chasing the bag. Guys are going to different schools every year.
Yeah.
And, it's just as easy to say, I'm going to get paid an amount. I mean, again, these are 17 to 22-year-old kids. They aren't the picture of maturity. I mean, they are still immature. They are still kids. Well-paid kids, don't get me wrong. But the ones that are jumping around, I mean, they lose a couple games and they're out of it. They're going to say, whoa, I'm not selling out for this place. I think what I'm saying is I think you're going to see a lot more of what happened to Penn State last year with the guys just crashing and mailing it in. I think you'll see that more in college football than we've been used to. Just
you think with the top programs?
With the allegiances, really the players and the universities and stuff, and they're going to say you're playing for money now, So, but it's like
it'll be interesting to watch. I think the programs that are established are going to remain in the mix. Now there might be a program
so mad
that drops
about
down
last
and
year.
A program that moves up. Like Indiana moved up, and Penn State dropped down at least for a season.
But what makes
I
think
you're going to largely see things hold steady, is what I think.
It's just the Goon take. But, why did it happen here? We lost 1 game when everything was still there.
Yeah.
It came from the top down. I mean, it was just like, hey, I mean, these guys just mailed it in. And it was national championship, but it was like, that's a BS answer because the national championship was still there. Even with 1 loss, even with 2 losses, you make the playoffs. That's what I'm trying. I don't understand why these guys. It was national championship or bust last year. But yeah, that's okay in the 80s and 90s when you lost the game and you were out of it. I get it. You're in the playoff system now. You can lose 2 games and still be in the playoffs, and you still have everything in front of you.
Yeah.
So that makes what happened last year even more bizarre. I just didn't want to play for him anymore. That's just, looking at it from the outside and then hearing some stuff, and they were just done. They were fried out, man. Now, let's talk about it. The year before, they had a 16-game schedule. What did Indiana have last year? They played a 16-game schedule. So I want to see how these guys do. You know what I mean? It's a long season, man.
It is. I think Signetti has. I just think he won't allow them to not have relative success. And again, I guess I should. My caveat to that would be I think they'll be at least 9-3.
And there is a difference in coaching when you are the hunter versus the hunted.
No question.
He is now the hunted right now.
Yeah, but I think is there anybody that seems better positioned to handle that than Signetti? I mean, it's I think he welcomes that, and I think he's just a guy that I think will motivationally challenge his guys each and every day, so that when they get to that point and you're in the season and you're in these big games, they're going to be in the mix. But and listen, I think they got Josh Hoover is. We're going to see if they can recapture some of that magic, but they have a legit quarterback again, which you need. I mean, I think that is a big component for reason for optimism. If you're a Hoosiers fan, is once again they've shown, you give us a good quarterback, we'll turn it into a big time winning team. And Josh Hoover's a very good quarterback at the very least, and it feels like under Signetti, it is likely that he'll take his game to another level. And if that is the case, again, Indiana is going to have at least a Heisman candidate again in the upcoming season. Because if he can better what he did last year,
Indiana
with TCU, he is going to be in the mix.
Indiana
is one of the top quarterbacks in the nation.
I think who loves Indiana is Ohio State. No one's really talking anything about Ohio State. It's all about the Indiana, Oregon.
I don't know about that. Most of the preseason polls.
Oh, no. But they're not talking about them. They're just saying Ohio State's still the top dog. They are absolutely right there. But every time you look up on TV, they're not talking about Ohio State that much, which is fine with them.
I'm not sure that's actually the case. Every time I turn on it, it's Ohio State, Texas, to a slightly lesser degree, Oregon, Georgia. I mean, it's the usual suspects, but I think Ohio State, I don't think they're flying under the radar in terms of publicity. I haven't seen them ranked lower than third anywhere.
No, I don't mean the publicity. I just mean they're not interviewing them. Day's not on TV. They're not talking about them. Michigan here, Michigan there.
I don't know about that.
Let's go back to what we talked about at Penn State last year in the firing. I mean, we still got to get past this 80s, 90s mentality. I mean, do you think Sarkisian gets fired if he doesn't make a run this year? It's the same situation as James was in last year, in my opinion.
I feel like I'm always couching my answers, but I really do. I think it kind of depends on what it looks like. I mean, if they have a Penn State type of season from last year, this year, yes, I think he is in big trouble, and I'm not sure he survives. Although there is kind of the national championship or bust feel around that program as well, if they get to the semifinals and they lose a similar game to the way Penn State lost to Notre Dame, I mean, they're not going to be happy. They're going to be a little restless, but also, I mean, come on, you're right there.
Yeah.
So now, if they get to the quarterfinals and they get their, ears kicked in and lose a 42-14 game, then
what if they don't make the playoffs?
Sure. Then I think we're debating. Under pressure for sure. Whether
seat?
or not they actually would make a move
I just
there.
think there's so much more pressure to win nowadays. It's
because
there's more money involved, and there's a lot more people who have say in the matter. It's a different world.
That is true, and a big part of it is just how the big money boosters feel about it, right? And if they're like, we've seen enough, it's time to move on. In all likelihood, the AD is going to say, I hear you. I've seen enough. Time to move on. And if the big boosters are like, hey, listen, he's still our guy. I think we got some things in place for next year. Then the AD is going to look through his glasses and, oddly enough, see the exact same thing. All of these coaches are under pressure, which again is one of the things that I think makes the Big Ten in particular, I guess college football in general, but I mean the Big Ten, again, can Dan Lanning and Oregon get over the hump win a national title, at least get to the title game, win a Big Ten title? Can Indiana sustain the type of success? Is it possible for Ohio State to get knocked down a peg for once, which with that lineup, I mean, they have Heisman candidate at quarterback, Heisman candidate at wide receiver. It seems unlikely that they're going to finish like in the middle of the pack in the Big Ten. But, can they go win another title, I think is probably kind of the question there. But after probably those three, again, one of the storylines is, all right, can how much of a difference can Kyle Whittingham make right out of the gate? How much of a difference can Matt Campbell make right out of the gate? Can Lincoln Riley get all of this talent
out of the
that
gate
they have, to finally produce at a big time level? How much of an impact out of the gate does Pat Fitzgerald make at Michigan State? Because I think they have some talented individuals. I don't know that they have the talent that some of those other top teams do. And then, you're looking at Iowa, you're looking at Wisconsin. Can Wisconsin make any kind of a move this season? PJ Fleck is in his 10th season with Minnesota. Can Washington make the vault up with their quarterback and be that fourth team in the Big Ten, or even, crack into the top three? There's probably, I don't know what I just listed, but there's probably 7 or 8 schools that are like, I think we could at least be top 4 in the conference going into the season. And, if you presume, and that's dangerous for sure, but I think Ohio State feels like a lock to me to be one of the top 4 teams in the conference anyway. And I think Oregon feels like as close to a lock to be one of those 4 as you could have. I really like Indiana's chances. I wouldn't go so far as to say, I certainly don't have the same confidence as much as I just praised Cignetti and that program. I mean, I don't have the same degree of confidence because of everything else going on in the conference of them being one of the top 4 programs as I do with Ohio State and Oregon. But I do think Indiana will be kind of that 3rd program is my expectation going in. But again, I would not be shocked to see Michigan as the 4th team, Penn State is the 4th team, Wisconsin is the 4th team. I'd be surprised with Wisconsin. Washington, for sure. And then, again, I think Washington is going to be coming on strongly. I think maybe not top 4, but I'm really curious to see the difference that Chesney makes at UCLA and how quickly they're able to, if they're able, how quickly they're able to kind of work their way at least into the upper half of the conference. Illinois, can they get things sustained here and rolling? Minnesota. I mean, there's a lot of programs there that I would say right now, as you look at it, it wouldn't be shocking to see them as that 4th team or one of the top 4 in the conference at the end of the year.
I just saw Michigan That's a pretty tough haul they got this year right now. So they have 4 playoff teams they're playing.
Yeah.
They got to play Oklahoma, Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon. They got to go 2-2 against those teams. So they got to beat at least 2 of those teams to get in, pretty much. That's a tough little haul right there for them. And I don't know how they're going to react out there under Whittingham. I loved him at Utah. Now I have to hate him. It's like one of those things that's like, damn it.
Well, so with both Whittingham and Campbell in particular, and maybe to a lesser degree Pat Fitzgerald, like I don't think Michigan State has the same resources or expectations that Penn State does, or so again, I think to a lesser degree maybe Fitzgerald, but Michigan certainly has very high expectations for both Whittingham and Campbell, and I love both of them. I think they're both great football coaches. I do think it's a legitimate, open-ended question right now. It is one thing to win in Oregon with the schedule you're playing and with the expectations being what they are. Again, there was no, like the 10-win seasons were genuinely celebrated there. Not the case at Penn State. Matt Campbell, same thing at Iowa State. Like they are, man, 9-3. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. Well, again, you're playing tougher competition. I get you have more resources, you have more talent on your roster, but it's different with the expectations. And I think for both Whittingham and Campbell, it's all right. How does your team rise up and meet the challenge of those expectations? And, we can make guesses, and that's part of the fun of it. But the reality is nobody really knows. You know that they're good football coaches, but you also know the Big Ten is a really strong, really deep conference. And, again, you can be a really good team, really well coached, and be 7th or 8th in the conference. Like that happens pretty much every year.
Again, I said it before, and I don't know if it's true or not, and we'll never know the answer, but I really feel as if I think Penn State wanted to move on from James. And I think they saw their opportunity last year.
I think Pat Kraft did for sure.
Well, yeah.
which
is he represents Penn State. So,
yeah.
But I just think that and you've heard me talk about this before, and that is that this is as good a schedule as Penn State has ever had for making a run.
It is.
I mean, it's amazing how it's set up, and I really think that they wanted to sever ties with James. I think, and then having that happening last year, I think that was the opportunity because he would take this team 10-2, 11-1 easily. I really think it would have been a guarantee. I think it's just my opinion.
I think I'm with
10-2, 11-1,
yep.
And then guess what? There's another 10-year contract for James. And I just think that everybody wanted to move on a little bit. And I think that was one that went on last summer. And if it's true that we had heard about the contract and all that, and then, people, why did he get kicked out? It's just like, would Texas get rid of Steve Sarkisian midseason this year for losing 3 games in a row? It's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think midseason I could be wrong, right? But I don't think midseason they would.
And I just, it was just the 25-point favored by 25 plus in 2 games straight, and you lose straight up, and that had something to do with it. It was done. The guys were done playing for him. So
and I think the added. I mean, there were a few added factors. The contract stuff, yes, but also the scene at the end of that Northwestern game at Beaver Stadium, and I mean, it was palpable, the contempt that fans, I'm not saying all fans, I'm not even sure it was a majority of fans, but it was a vocal segment of fans in the stadium, and I think that was at least a contributing factor.
Sure. I mean, you and I felt the same way. This is a national championship team.
Well, and the money that was invested by the aforementioned big money boosters.
Sure.
Hey, we're looking for big returns. And not only do you not get big returns, you pretty much got no returns. And it was just looking through those first 6 games, anything but a national title contender. And even in those first three, as we've well documented, and again, I was not hitting the panic button at the time, but in retrospect, again, we were seeing, we just weren't wanting to believe our eyes. We were wanting to believe, yep, this team is just waiting. They're going to tap into it. And they never, at least under James Franklin, never did. All right, we're going to take a break here. We are back with much more. It is our Thursday edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead Show.
You look a bit nervous, hey?
Terry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, Coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox, State College.
We are back here on a Thursday at Quaker Steak and Lube. Great place. Come on down and watch your favorite sports. Big Ten Media Days has been covered all 3 days here on the TVs at Quaker Steak and Lube. Of course, Major League Baseball in full throttle. Little League World Series will be coming up pretty shortly here next couple of weeks. That's always a lot of fun. And, of course, this is the place to come on down and enjoy college football and the NFL all season long. You can come on down and enjoy all of the sports on all of the TVs. They are located all throughout the establishment. Great food, great beverages, and great service here at Quaker Steak and Lube.
Our girl Rachel behind the bar. Her birthday today. She's took a little trip with her son.
Happy birthday to
out
Rachel.
to Chicago for the White Sox Yankees game we're watching on TV right now.
Go White Sox.
I don't know. It's weird.
How'd the Phillies end up doing that with the
shut your mouth.
Marlins? How bad did they dominate them?
That's unbelievable. I don't know. Did you see
It's just the quirks of
see
baseball.
anything?
I mean, it's a long season.
Up
I didn't see a
6-0.
lot of it.
They were up 6-0 yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and Ruben Amaro is talking about how they need to pull their pitcher, the Marlins do. But they said, you know what, this game's out of reach. He pretty much let it be known that the game is out of reach, so that manager's going to let this guy finish this inning because this game is already over and out of reach. And I literally was sitting in my chair like, you know what? That's a bad omen right there. And sure as hell.
Yep.
They end up losing, giving up a 6-run.
Well, that's all right. Pirates came back from a 6-0 deficit only to lose the game anyway. So that was on
that one hurt.
Tuesday night. It was brutal.
That one hurt.
Brutal. Reynolds hit that
talk
home
about your
run.
boys.
It's like, all right, here we go. It's our night, and it wasn't our night.
What's up with Skeensy?
Feels like they're starting to.
We're
slip
close
away.
personal friend with Paul Skeens, so we can call him Skeensy.
One of many questions surrounding the Pirates. It just feels like they are just kind of hanging on by their fingertips right now, and not sure they're going to be able to get this thing straightened out enough to make a real run or not. But
well, you got Cruz in the IR,
we're used to
and
it.
you got Skeens not pitching well. Your two best players aren't doing it.
We're used to it,
right? Their two best players are not producing right now, and they're still in the hunt.
For the time being, that is true. For the time being, that is true. We'll take being in the hunt for as long as we can. Just not sure that's going to be a whole lot longer. But hope springs eternal.
I think you should trade Paul Skeens to the Phillies and just cut ties. Just cut the ties. He's going to strike next year anyway. You don't want him in.
That's another thing is if they actually, I mean, they have to get a salary cap of some sort in place. I mean, they do. But
you think the players will ratify that? It's like NIL. It's like you're going to put that genie back in the bottle. I don't think it can happen.
Not looking good right now, but they have to figure that out. But
do you feel as if what is the best run of the four sports?
Oh, I mean, there's no question it's the NFL. It's not.
What does the NFL have that none other people do, and that's guaranteed contracts. I feel as if that is a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that the NFL players are now getting a lot of their money front end loaded, like Jalen Carter's contract the other day. He's guaranteed $105 million, guaranteed, which is a new thing in the NFL, but it's not a guaranteed salary every year, and that's where a lot of these teams are, like Major League Baseball and Major League NBA. I mean, you sign a contract in the NBA or Major League Baseball, 10 years, you're paid no matter what, and that is unbelievable to me. But you can't do that in football with the risk of injury that they have, and every play could be your last play ever. So I really think that has a lot to do with the owner control. With they can institute a lot of these things, like Major League Baseball instituting a salary cap right now. after being in the Wild West for as long as they have been, I mean, what are the chances you think that's going to go through? I mean, what are they going to give the players? They got to pay. They got to give them something really, really, really nice.
Yeah,
for them to agree to say, okay, well, you know what, we'll lower our salaries and not, we're not going to max out. But I mean, as a player, you got to be a little upset too at what the Dodgers are doing, don't you think? Wouldn't you think as a player, like, this is complete crap?
I would think that. I wonder if that is actually the case, if they think it through to that degree, or they just see all of the zeros. And yeah, if I can get that opportunity, or I don't know. I wonder about that a little bit. How
it is amazing
how much that impacts the way players view the overall situation in baseball and the money that's involved there. I don't know.
I mean, you got the Dodgers. How much of that Ohtani money is deferred? How much is on the books, or is it deferred?
Yeah.
So they were already that much over it, and you're not. I mean, a little rant here, but he's your best hitter and your best pitcher at the same time. So you're getting two star, like 99 players, and you're not paying for them. They're not even on your round. They're not even on your salary cap. That's crazy.
Yes.
And then you're still over it by $200 million. And there's talking about Tarek Skubal going like, "Oh, the Dodgers might pick him up." I'm like, how? See, that to me is bull. I mean, the Phillies are already over the salary. Well, the royalty tax, what they call it. So if they can somehow get Skubal, but I guess he's under contract and he's only going to be a rental. He's not making the big super $100 million contracts until this offseason. But I would be upset if I'm a Major League Baseball player and Skubal goes to a team like that that's already so far off the stratosphere, off the reservation, with salary cap, royalty money type stuff. Well, too much. I'd be a little upset about that. But what can the owners offer the players? Less games? That ain't gonna happen.
No.
More time off? That ain't gonna happen. I don't know. What can I mean, other than raising that salary cap to be a pretty substantial number, so the Pirates can collect their royalty checks still too.
Yeah, very important. Yeah, I don't know. It's right now. It feels almost inevitable that there's going to be a work stoppage next year, but hopefully somehow they get it figured out. But yeah, I'm not overly optimistic because I don't think the owners can budge personally and expect to have a competitive league moving forward. But as you say, I'm not sure what the players' incentive is to. All right, yep, we'll go ahead and concede that.
We don't
that issue. So I don't know. I don't know what the.
Well, the NBA did it. What they gave ended up giving veterans a lot more than the younger guys. The veteran minimums and the veteran maximums and stuff like that, and they got the salary stuff under control pretty good in the NBA. Now, again, what is baseball? If they try to do that, what are they going to offer? I just don't see how they're not going to strike, because the owners are going to sit there.
I think it's.
But are the non-royalty teams like the Pirates and the Royals, are they going to complain? Are they going to be making us think about getting a salary cap type of thing out there? And I don't know. Or are they just happy getting what they're getting right now?
The organizations or the players?
Well, the organization. We know the answer to that.
Yeah, of course.
Mark Cuban said it right. Why would you change a thing if you're getting a check for $50 million every year? Why would you change a thing? And it's scary. But there are guys that own teams in professional sports that are like that. Yuck. It seems to be just your team.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, try to put that off for, for as long as we can, but it does feel like that's coming down the pike, and that there's almost no way it'll be resolved.
All right, let's back to Penn State football here, Ironhead.
Yeah.
What do you think is for Campbell and this team? What do you think is like you talked about it, 9-3 is the threshold, right?
Yeah, I think that's 9-3. I think everybody, I think basically you shrug your shoulders and say, not great, but yeah, first year got through it. Okay, we're all right. 10-2, especially if you make the playoffs, and I think 10-2 gets you in the playoffs, even with the schedule as it is. Then I mean, you can't say that's anything other than a successful first season for a first-year head coach coming off the year that Penn State had last season. So to me, again, 9-3 is kind of shrug of the shoulders. It's like, I mean, I'm not going to be throwing parades anytime soon, but okay. Certainly more than willing to give this guy a chance to see if we can get things rolling. I think 8-4 or worse, and there's going to be eyebrows raised and questions immediately.
Why did we do
from the Penn State fan base that, okay, Iowa State was one thing. This is big-time football. I'm not sure if you're ready for it. Now, I will argue, 12-0, 6-6, anything in between, it's like, okay, I would still urge patience. Maybe you get lightning in a bottle with all the Iowa State transfers. I'm still not going to be ready to say definitively, all right, I guaranteed we have ourselves a winner. And I think, again, fans with any sport, I think you tend to do that. It's like you get a result, and it's like, all right, there it is. We're back. And then you lose the next 5 games. It's like, okay, we may have overestimated that. Or the other way, you get upset, out of the gate. It's like, oh, my God, what a loser. This is awful. And then, 11 games later, you're sitting there at 11-1. Yeah, it was a bad day. They figured things out quickly for a season. You're looking for long-term sustained success. But as far as the immediate feel coming off of this season, to me, 9-3 is a shrug of the shoulders. It's like, would have liked to have done better, but I get it. First year, and you're trying to meld, a bunch of players together. Let's see what happens. And I think everybody's ready to buy in to whatever degree, but certainly you're going to have buy-in for the next season. I think 8-4 or worse, you're going to have to work to get the buy-in. Not saying you can't get it, but it's going to be work. I think 10-2 or better, and I mean everybody's going to be no questions asked, all in as far as the next season. But again, let's say it's a disastrous, and air quotes, disastrous 8-4 or 7-5 season, and people are oh man, I don't know, and then the next year they go 11-1. It's okay, it's all right, and vice versa. If they go 10-2, get into the playoffs and lose in the opening round, and then next year follow it up with 8-4, it's okay. I mean, you used Iowa State transfers and the holdovers from James Franklin's era, and that's how you got one good season, right? So. I just think, again, to me, even in this era, and I don't know that fans or even administrations are willing to do it, I still think even in this era, you've got to give at least 3 seasons. Maybe not the 5 that I always thought you should get to get a full recruiting class and all of that through to get a fair assessment. I still think you at least have to go 3 to figure out, all right, I mean, like Indiana, even if they somehow do drop off dramatically this season, I think that fan base is okay. I think they can put up with and tolerate a 6-6 season in the upcoming year because, my God, Indiana football won a national championship. I mean, so talk about no pressure. I mean, it's all self-imposed, but I mean, no outside pressure for Signetti and company. But again, 9-3 to me feels like that's the balancing point. It's like 9-3. I don't think anybody's going to feel horrible. I don't think anybody's going to be necessarily rejoicing. But it's like, okay. I mean, they had on paper 3 tough games at the start of the season, and even if you get upset somewhere and you win one of those, I don't think it necessarily matters how you get to 9-3. I think 9-3 is just kind of a shrug of the shoulders. It's like, yep, all right, first year. Now let's see what we can get going. I think above that, you feel really good. And again, we keep talking about it, but I mean, on paper, like 10-2 feels very realistic.
What was Notre Dame last year
for this
to
team?
not get in? Were they 9-3? Did they lose the third game?
My gosh,
we should look it up.
Yeah,
but I'm just going to go through my. I mean, we got the. You talked about the other day.
Yeah,
So they only had 2 losses. They didn't have a marquee win. That might run into Penn State's way right this year. Is who your wins are going to be against. That's going to come into play. But I'm sitting there, you broke down the 5 games. It's the big 3 games that we have. We don't play the big 3, first of all. So the 3 big games we have are Washington, USC, and Michigan.
Yeah.
I'll throw in Wisconsin, and I'll throw in
at Northwestern
because of the circumstances.
Yep.
And there's the other 6 games we got going on. Are teams that we should be beating, have been beating, but things may happen. I don't know. But I'm just going to go those 5 games, and I'm sitting there saying, on paper we're beating at least 3 of them. On paper we're guaranteed to beat 2 of them. I'm not going to say guarantee. That's a stupid word, but
yep.
I like our chances against Northwestern and Wisconsin. Don't get me wrong. I like our chances against Michigan. I think Michigan's going to be a down year this year. We're at Washington, tough place to play. They've never beaten us, so I'm going to roll it out there. So I'm on a 10-2, and then I'm on 10-2, but I don't know. USC is such a freaking crapshoot, man. I mean, they may just ball out and just play for Riley big time. He may have gone out and got some studs and this and that and coaching them up, or they may be like, hey, I'm just collecting the money. I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't want to be here. I got no allegiance to USC. So they could have a very crappy season, and they could have a great season. I don't know.
Yeah,
it is wide open for USC. Riley's name around the country isn't exactly very good in the Oklahoma area. So there's a lot of people who are voting against him. So I'm going 10-2. I really am, and I really feel as if 10-2 gets you in the playoffs, but it's also, what was Notre Dame? Do we know?
9-3.
Okay, so they had the 3 losses.
Yeah.
So that is the threshold. 2-loss Big Ten team is going to get in the playoffs, in my opinion. At 10-2, I think we get into the playoffs next year. Now, how many Big Ten teams get into the playoffs? That's another thing that might come into play. Notre Dame, USC may be great. Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon. We know that they're 3 that are projected to go. Does a 4th Big Ten team get in there, or does the national media say, you know what? They have beaten nobody. They really don't have a marquee win. That
it is going to depend in part, right, on what some of those games early on, if Wisconsin knocks off Notre Dame,
yeah, exactly,
huge for the conference.
Absolutely, no
obviously,
doubt about
if Ohio State can go into Texas and take
Michigan,
care of business
Oklahoma,
so there's going to be opportunities, and so I don't think you can sit here without seeing the way it plays out and kind of what it's looking like in the Big Ten, and then what it's looking like elsewhere. I don't think you can know. I like, as we sit here right now, I like the chances. I would take the odds of the Big Ten getting 4 teams in, because it feels like there's going to be 5 or 6 teams that can make some real noise here on the national scene.
Does a 5th team get in?
I think that is very unlikely.
Are we stretching it out with the 5 Big Ten teams?
but possible. Again, depending on. You got to see how some things shake
no doubt
out.
about
it. There's folks presuming.
Jeff, I should have said hypothetically
that like Notre Dame is going to rock Wisconsin, and that I would expect Notre Dame will win, and probably fairly comfortably. But do I think that's an absolute lock? No. And again, if Wisconsin were to win that and go on and have, a 9-win season, and that again, regardless of whether Wisconsin gets in, the overall Big Ten brand gets boosted tremendously from some of those early season opportunities. If Penn State can knock off in-state rival Temple, Goon. A huge opportunity for the conference to just. Well, anyways.
What about Buffalo or Marshall?
Yeah, I will say the Marshall game is. I'm not going to say it's concerning, but I am curious to see what that game looks like. First of all, I think you're going to have. Hopefully, it's decent weather, because I think if it's decent weather, you're going to have a full house, which I guess is going to be. I guess at that stage of the year, it won't be. I don't know exactly what it'll be. Probably 106,000, 107,000. But
first game's always a tight.
I guess for the USC game, they could set a record, or will set a record with the temporary seating that'll be in there by that time of the year. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic.
Have you driven by out there on 99
well.
From the 99 aspect of it?
No, I've driven by on Park Avenue.
I see it finally. And I know I'm looking at it a little skewed, but I was always told that the top seats will be higher than the televisions. And I drove by last night and looked at it, and I said, holy crap.
Then the cameras, you mean? Or
No. They
you mean the television?
The televisions, the big screens that are in either end zone.
Oh.
That the seats that are the new seats
on
that
the
are
west side.
The west side that they just built in there.
Yeah.
They are higher.
Yes.
Not the whole section, but there are seats that are higher from the vantage I had that are actually higher than the televisions. That's insane.
Than the scoreboards.
Scoreboards and the play screens and stuff like that.
Yeah. Got it.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
And I really screwed my wife last night. I was messing with her. I said, well, they're putting another.
That might be too much information.
Screwing with, I said.
I missed that. I missed the with.
So I said, they're putting another section on top of that. Because she must have a little fear of heights anyway. She was like, I would not sit in those seats. I said, Karen, they're putting a whole nother section on top of that one. And she was like, you're kidding me, right? There's no way. And I was like, yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it. I said, that's what they're doing. They're going to. I don't know the setup of what else do they have to do. I've not been in or around to read anything or stuff like that, Jeffrey. What they have right now, they're going to go into the 2026 season. Are they putting more seats in by 27 when
Well, no, it'll be fewer seats by 27. There'll be more that'll go in over the course of September and early October. But then, the final phase. I don't know if I don't think they've given a final number, because it sounded originally like it was still going to be over 100,000, but it was going to be less capacity, but better more comfortable seating.
Yeah.
More seat backs and that sort of thing. But the way Pat he didn't really say it exactly, but I think
109 this year.
Well, no, not for the USC game. If everything goes well, they could be. I think they'll start at 106-ish for those first three games. But I think ultimately the listed capacity will drop from 107 and change to about 104 or 105 and change. Is what
in 27.
Correct.
Okay.
It'll be completed. Well,
and they're going to get rid of
everything remains on schedule and Pat Kraft says it's coming in under budget. I
Do they
will
have the
believe that
load
one when we see
seatings
the
in there
final
yet,
numbers.
or is that next year's?
I think everything will be finalized next year. I don't know for sure if they'll have any of the seating in on the west side this year or not with the luxury boxes. I'm not sure.
Press box, is it still in the middle now? I don't know.
No, I think it's going to stay on the east side is my understanding.
Oh.
Yep, where I think the media will be in the same location they were last year.
That was a little step up for you guys, eh?
If only that were true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll take a break here and be back with much more. It is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7 The Fox State College.
And we are back here at Quaker Steak and Lube. It is the Line Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show, and a second and final hour underway. Kicking around Penn State football expectations.
Oh, baby.
I don't know.
We're talking football again. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I will say one of the things that I think is also a challenge right now, and I wonder if it's the same type of challenge at like a Michigan or some of these other schools that have new head coaches. And I think the Penn State thing is a little different. The diehards are diehards for a reason, and they are into it and they're following. They know the tight end battle that's shaping up, and they know all of those things. I'm talking to more and more of my buddies and just the casual fans, and they're like, yeah, I mean, certainly when the season comes around, we'll check it out and watch, but yeah, they're disenchanted with the big money being thrown around in college athletics. I think they're disenchanted by the way last season played out, and even though Terry Smith did a wonderful job of kind of recapturing the Penn State pride, I think a lot of people are at the moment just like, let's see. I mean, if
finger on pause,
and again, I think it's a combination of they feel like they don't know, which I mean they don't. I mean, even the diehards that follow it, you don't really know these Iowa State kids just yet that have come in, and so there's a learning curve there, right? Let's get to know these kids a little bit, what the expectations are from them in the Big Ten. Same thing with Matt Campbell and his staff. And then, the other part of it is how is everything going to shake out here with college athletics? We were talking about off the air. They, came out with all of the numbers for the programs over the last year, and the money made or lost. Again, only football and men's basketball makes money, and everything else loses money. And we've had the ongoing discussion about, is there a point at which the football folks say, excuse me, this has been fun and all, but we're making and generating all this money, and why exactly are we sharing it with these programs that aren't carrying their own weight? And I'm talking just from a financial perspective. And I think that discussion is already occurring in a lot of places. It's why I do think this Save College Sports legislation that apparently is going to be at least discussed, if not voted on next week, it's sounding like. I think it is...
that's a federal level, or is that state?
It is crucial. No, that's the U.S.
Okay.
That's the Congress that's taking that up. And, they're in conversations with the commissioners, and in particular, Big Ten and SEC. But, I mean, they're talking to all the conferences, trying to get support, trying to figure out. And it's there's a lot of different interests and a lot of different elements that they're trying to work into this legislation. And I think it is absolutely necessary legislation if we are to continue to have some version of college sports the way we've known it, meaning across the board, broad. And it is inevitable to me that we're going to see a shrinking pool of those sports, but I'm just talking about them existing as scholarship awarding sports. I think this legislation is the only vehicle that allows that to occur.
You got a Cliff Notes version?
And I don't even know what long term means these days. But
are they looking for federal funding?
I think when you look at the money that is being lost right now with these programs, and it's not a surprise to anybody now. But with the travel costs involved now for these sports, and especially the ones that have to now travel to the West Coast, like that. It is an added expenditure. Now, I get on the front end of that, you're getting a bigger TV contract. You're getting more. I understand all of that.
Yeah.
And hopefully everybody is kind of taking that into account. Because I had a couple of people reach out to me. It's like, whoa, look at how much money like wrestling is losing and men's basketball. I'm just telling you, I think I don't know about a lot of sports. I think some of those sports are almost breaking even, save for the in-season travel of the teams. And it is just such an expense.
Yep.
And there's just no way to avoid that expense. And that's why I still think, and I don't know if this will be part of the legislation. I kind of doubt it. I think this will be more of the conferences as they look at this. If this legislation does get passed, and it'll be interesting to see what all is in it. But I think one of the things that will have to, I think it will have to occur is the conferences are going to, and we've talked about this before, but you're going to have to get back to regional play at the very least in the non-football, non-men's basketball sports. Like that just seems inevitable that whether we end up with 2 super conferences or 4 super conferences and kind of everybody that's playing big time D1 athletics as we've known it, or whatever the version is that we'll come to know. I think within the 2 or 4 conferences that they have to figure out regional play where Penn State will take on Ohio State and Maryland and Rutgers and maybe Michigan State and Michigan, whatever it is. And there's going to be some competitive imbalance. I think that's almost inevitable. But I also think, and again, I'm talking about outside of football and basketball. The money is there. They can travel and you can get the marquee matchups that you want. I think in the other sports, you save the marquee matchups for the postseason.
But aren't you putting Iowa, Nebraska in a real bind because they're going to be out west? You know what I mean? And that's still a big damn travel for them to get out there.
No, it's a fair
point.
Now
you're going to be sitting there. I mean, it's okay for us. There's enough East Coast teams that we can drive to.
Well, one of the things they're talking about, and I haven't read it enough about it, but was they want to cap the number of teams in any one conference at 19, which just seems silly to me.
Dumb number.
And I need to. I keep thinking I need to look more into that, and I keep not doing it. So,
well, I'm going to say one thing, and that is maybe the Big Ten said, well, we're holding out for Notre Dame. Because why would they not just say 18?
But I think you want to get to like 24. If you go to like 2 super conferences, then I mean, to me, you throw that out the window and you go, hopefully 2 32 team conferences.
I think we can get 64 teams
come in there. So that, I mean, the potential is there that like a Nebraska or an Iowa could be in there with. I mean, they're so good. You're going to have some travel. That's just going to be part of the equation. But maybe you get them in with more with some teams that are closer in proximity as you realign.
I'm looking in my head.
Yep,
the non-traditional sports that would actually go out west. We're not playing lacrosse. There's 2 sports gone. They're not playing field hockey. That's 3 sports gone. Swimming and diving, probably, right? They definitely went out there. Baseball's going out there, but like our fencing teams, I don't think are going to go out west.
No.
But I guess one of the biggest questions I have right off the
softball.
top of my head, Jeff, and that's a big,
volleyball.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge money. You're shipping a whole baseball team out there to L.A. and staying out in L.A. because you're going to try and knock out 2 series in one. So, in that number that we're talking about,
in style for some of those.
I got no problem with that. I'm pretty cool
but
with that.
saying, but it adds up quick. Is all I'm saying on the financial.
Are the scholarships included in that number?
The distance is part of it, but part of it is also on the expense end. But part of it is also the way in which you're traveling.
Yes. I mean, you can save money, right? Is that what you're getting at? Or you could travel a certain way.
Potentially, yes.
So why doesn't it I've said this before, long ago. They should just put a Big Ten hotel out there in California and have the teams stay out there. I mean, if it's a real big issue, the Big Ten's got enough friggin' money. They're making hand over fist right now. Buy a big old hotel, put the teams up there for the non-traditional sports. You got baseball and softball going out there for 3-game series against USC and UCLA. The hotel, I can't imagine how expensive the hotel is. And you're there for at least 6 days. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge number. Huge.
Yeah.
And, could they do something in the East for the West Coast teams coming over here and all? I mean, it was a dumb decision for the 4. We've said this from the start because of the non-traditional sports. I mean, the football and basketball, it's a great thing. They travel. It's a one-day thing. But other sports, it's a multi-day operation, and they're not making money already. And we're going to add that expense in there.
But the reason they did it is financial winner.
They had money symbols in their eyes for we know that, and that's not a bad thing. I get it. I mean, we traditionally would make $50 million a year in the athletic department. Correct? Our expenses. Now that 57,000. Sorry, I was off by a few zeros. That $57 million profit that Penn State football bought in last year. Did that include the players' money, or did that already take the players' profit shares out? You know what I mean?
I think
has that
from the
$23 million
conference TV
that
contract?
Stat we saw the other day of our football team, our athletic budgets, for all the sports, and it said football was $57 million profit.
Yeah.
Okay, did that take out the $23 million profit share?
That is a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Because historically, football was making about $50 million. This goes back to Joe era.
I think that would get incorporated in the
expenses,
the numbers. Yeah.
Okay, so then $57 million after all of that. Now, don't you think there should be some kind of the Nittany Lion Club? They help out with scholarships, and this is me being a dumbhead. I know they do it with football. Is that a multi-sport where the Nittany Lion Club helps out with scholarships? Or is that just for football?
I don't.
I'm just full of demanding questions today. I'm sorry.
I think that's football.
Okay. And there's another thing. I mean, I always average out I say $50,000 as a full scholarship. That's what I always say, because I'll average out the out-of-state, in-state, and stuff like that. It averages about 50. It's a nice round number. So you're talking about $50,000 scholarship for 105 guys for football, and then all the other sports. I mean, that's a hell of an expense. I mean, how many scholarships did wrestling use? And they're allowed 30. We found it, right?
Yeah,
they're not using that.
No,
20.
More than 20, but not 25. I'm not sure the exact number, but
10 would be 500,000. 20 would be $1 million. That's $1 million right in tuition.
Yeah.
Well, we can fix that up. Can we not? This place is like sort of weird like that. The robbing Peter and paying Paul from the different pots, but it's all the same Penn State pot. You know what I mean? Like that's $1 million that wrestling can save on tuition if the university, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
I'm not sure.
I mean, can Penn State give a discount on any of the scholarships that they're charging the athletic department for these guys?
Oh,
considering that we're all in the same team here.
I'd say if the athletic department's willing to share some of the revenues with the university, absolutely.
That's $50,000 a scholarship. That's on average. I mean, that's a nice chunk right there a year.
Yeah, but they're going to get that whether it's athletes or other people coming in. So
interesting.
I'm not sure that. Yeah, there's an upside to the discount from the university's administrative.
Well, the one good thing is we don't have the Rutgers and West Virginia disease. Thank God. We are not dipping in. Their school tuition is not being dipped into to pay for the athletic budget. I absolutely love that about us. Now, do you think we get to the point, Jeffrey, where they start slashing? I think we hold out a long time.
Slashing
sports.
Slashing the actual programs
yes.
or the scholarships that are offered? Or
well, that's another thing I don't understand. Why did they quadruple the scholarships for wrestling and baseball and softball? Why did they do that? Again, one of those things I don't understand why they did that.
Yeah, and limit the numbers at the same time.
It's just very odd to me. Like, okay, we're going to try and save money, but hey, you guys are allowed to have up to 30 scholarship players now. That's $1.5 million. Like,
yeah,
I mean, when you went from 10 to 20, nuts. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 to 30, 10 to 30. Sorry, I misspoke.
Not even
That's
a full
insane.
scholarship per starter. Theoretically, you could go 3 deep.
Now, you don't have to
weight
answer this
class.
question, and it's way off topic here, but does wrestling still break them up pretty good, or are they going full rides now?
All sports have to go full rides now.
Oh, so there's no halves.
Correct.
Was that one of the...
Yes.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, all sports are head counts.
I wonder how many scholarships baseball is using. And softball. I really wonder
whatever the roster was, but yeah.
But I don't know if they're using them all. Like wrestling's not using all 30. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
well, thank God we got football.
It is.
And TV.
And again, I don't know that the legislation is going to solve or answer all of the issues, but I think it at least allows them an opportunity to get a handle on some of the things that are going on in college sports and allow there to be some semblance of competitive understanding. The other part of it, though, and I think Patiti addressed this in his comments, and if it wasn't him, somebody did. But so it is one thing to write a law, right? Like that, like Congress can write a law that, hey, we don't want anybody, we don't want anybody drinking lemonade anymore. We've done studies that, well, how are you going to enforce whether or not you drink lemonade in your home? Whatever they come up with here, the other component to this is what kind of enforcement mechanism is there going to be, and how much faith do the student athletes, do the athletic directors, do the coaches have that, hey, yep, if somebody is doing something beyond the parameters of what's set forth here, there will be punishment meted out. Because it always felt very arbitrary and very capricious and very long. It took a long time for the NCAA to come to a conclusion. If somebody breaks the rules as they're set up, there needs to be a clear punishment. There needs to be a clear mechanism by which it will be adjudicated quickly and fairly. And I think that's going to be the other part of this that is going to be really challenging. Like it's one thing you can sit here now and say, all right, we're going to cap it at 25 million. That's it for all of the sports, and you can only go up to 20 million for football, and that's it. Okay, well that's great. And we'll all do that. And then you get wind that, well, yeah, no, this school's using all 25 million on just football. And again, right now there is no parameter, so don't. But I'm saying if you put something in place, that's great. That's a good. Now, how are you going to go about checking that? Who is going to check it? And to what degree do we have confidence that it will be enforced and properly and fairly adjudicated? And that's going to be another whole element here, because, again, the NCAA, by its own admission, was always lacking in its investigative powers and certainly its ability to move quickly with investigations and get to conclusions. And it was, I think even they would admit, yeah, it was a disaster. Like, I mean, we're 5 years after something happened. By God, we're going to take away 10 scholarships. Come on. So there has to be clear cut. All right, this is how it's going to be enforced, and there's going to be a cost to that, right? Well, who's picking up the cost of the enforcement? Do you have an enforcer on each campus? How do you assure that enforcer isn't being improperly it just goes on and on. But I think that's going to be the trickiest part of this legislation. I think the fairly easy part is, all right, hey, you can transfer once, and that's it over a 5-year period. You have 5 years of eligibility. That's it. You have all great. This is the limit on the money, or this is the
you can transfer more than once, but you got to sit out
ceiling or the floor.
Yep.
Well, you can put in whatever parameters you want, and then all right. Well, I'm going to transfer a third time.
I don't have a problem. Yeah,
and how are you enforcing it? Who's enforcing it? What if this school says, "Nah, I think that's going to be the trickiest part here. Is, again, great to come up with legislation, and yep, this is what we do. You can only have maximum of 105 players on the practice field. Oh, this team got caught with 107. Well, okay, and what are we going to do? And who enforces it?
Well, depends on who it is, Jeff.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is it can't depend on that. And I think that's, again, where it's going to be very tricky to get everything worked out to where
shenanigans,
the programs feel confident that, okay, these are the rules. We're all going to be abiding by them and, doing our best to stay within them. And we all have a clear understanding of what the sanctions are when you get caught violating the new rules, whatever they are. So,
yeah.
Keep an eye on.
We're going back to the McDonald's bags, buddy.
But it does sound like they may be trying to get something hammered out next week in that regard.
Of course they will.
Break here and be back with much more. It is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube.
You look a bit nervous, hey?
Terry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, Coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox, State College.
So, a couple of bizarre stories out there in the world of sports. You're listening to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show from Quaker Steak Lube, our favorite place to be. We are here every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon. Well, almost every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon from 2 to 4. And we invite you to come on down either during the show or anytime for lunch or dinner. Again, a great menu, great food, world famous for their wings, but all kinds of great food options, great cold beverages, and the best service in the State College area, all available here, along with the many TVs for those of us that are sports fans to follow those sports here at Quaker Steak and Lube. So this story, I'm getting this from Outkick. It's being reported a bunch of places, but this one is just,
you're laughing.
This is just ridiculous. The NCAA has lost another battle in the court of public opinion, and this time it involves a college football player at Tennessee. In a world in which college athletes are being paid millions of dollars to play, it looks as though the NCAA is still harping on the small things like we are still living in the past. Should this come as a surprise? Probably not. given the organization is still trying to hold on to any power they have left within this current ecosystem of college athletics. Yeah, they're also just trying to hold on to some sort of relevance. So the story is this. Tennessee linebacker Arian Carter has been suspended for 2 games by the NCAA for accepting a flight paid for by an NFL agent after Carter had decided he would try his hand at the NFL draft after the 2025 season, and he signed with the representation. NCAA probably should have just stayed quiet. Instead, the NCAA provided this statement, quote, NCAA rules are clear. Student athletes may not sign with agents to pursue NFL draft opportunities, and this student athlete knowingly violated those long-standing rules. Do you know how many long-standing rules are now being violated? When student athletes violate NCAA rules, the school declares them ineligible and works with the national office to determine requirements for reinstatement, which can include repayment and or withholding from competition. The plane ticket in question was $427. Dear good.
Didn't even get first class.
And this came after Carter decided he would enter the NFL draft this past spring. The violation is deemed a level 3 violation, which is level 1 is the most significant. So it's a fairly, it's a misdemeanor type of violation. But by God, the NCAA, they're not going to tolerate, in this day and age, somebody being given a $427 plane ticket by an agent with the idea that they're pursuing the NFL draft. Now, other agents, that's okay. Honestly,
I get it.
At this point, do you not just say, hey, just so you know, like at the moment, that's still... that just seems...
Hey, word to the wise. Just so you guys know, as a team...
Maybe have them repay the $400, although the agent would have happened. I don't know.
Give the $427 back. It's petty. It's stupid. The fact that they're probably mad because he didn't use their services.
Michigan.
Oh, God. Don't.
North Carolina with this class. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. So the one thing I am just...
Who would have thought Belichick?
I am pleading with the... well, no, not Belichick, but
okay.
The classes. That was before Belichick.
I'm talking about Lombardi getting suspended.
I don't think. Do we know what that was for?
Nothing yet, but I mean, Belichick, you could just imagine.
Yeah. So the again, this is what I mean. The NCAA, the enforcement, again, where they lay the hammer down on Penn State for something that had nothing to do. Well, first of all, it didn't even occur. But aside from that, had nothing to do with the football program as it was currently constructed. They lay the hammer down there. Michigan, we're still waiting for if there's going to be anything. The North Carolina situation from a few years ago, the Michigan State with Nassar, like that never led to any meaningful sanctions. And then you have, again, in this era where money is flying around left and right, it's the wild, wild west, and they zoom in on a $427 plane ticket for an NFL agent for a kid who was pursuing the NFL draft. Like, this is why part of this legislation, and I don't know how you construct it. I'm not even sure if it's constructed in the legislation, but I'm just telling you, the rules are meaningless right now because, again, they're going to lay the hammer down, relatively speaking. I would say missing 2 games for this is laying the hammer down.
This is
like
they did it quick.
This is the equivalent of spending a night in jail for jaywalking.
Jaywalking.
It's like, okay, let's let's ease up here on what we're doing. And then again, with serious, clear violations, it's like, I don't know if there's really anything we can do. This is what drives people crazy. So regardless of what assuming there is legislation, and at some point I do think there will be legislation regulating college sports, and it will come from the federal government, it's still going to be meaningless if there is not a clear cut. All right, this is how this will be enforced. This is who will do the enforcing, and this will be a quick and fair investigative arm of college athletics. If that is not in place, and there is not a high degree of confidence throughout the college sports world that, yep, this is going to work, then it's pointless. It is just because we're going to go back to the same situation we have now, which is I have no idea how the NCAA or whatever the governing organization becomes is going to handle this situation versus another one. And there has seemingly been zero rhyme or reason to why the NCAA has handed out punishments to the degree it has here and not any there and a lesser degree there. And, it just like the 5-year thing, I like because it is clear cut and you don't have to worry. We don't think at the moment, although we'll see how, again, enforcement is handled and what this actually looks like down the road. But at the moment, it feels like, all right, it's pretty clear cut. You have 5 years, you're injured for a couple of years. That's a bummer, but you had 5 years of eligibility and that's it. Whereas previously, it's like, well, yeah, you only have the 5 years, but you can apply for a year of hardship. And, oh, yeah, this kid, we're going to give it to this one. No, this kid. Yeah. And you're looking at the documented cases and saying, well, it's pretty much the exact same case in all four. Yeah. But we wanted to give it to that kid, but not these. But why? We've adjudicated that. We are done here. Well, I mean, that is one of many reasons why fans long ago lost trust in the NCAA, but the folks involved in it, the coaches and the players, it's like, well, this is not a workable situation because we don't know what the punishment is. It's different for different schools, different programs, different coaches, different athletes. So I don't know how you go about it, but they have got to get that part figured out where there is confidence throughout the college sports world that, yep, this is the rule, everybody knows it, and this is the sanctions that will be meted out if you break the rule, and we have whatever we need in place to root out anybody that is breaking those rules.
It's all bull, dude.
And I think that is still going to be
we're still sitting here waiting.
The downfall of this.
Is it done? The Michigan investigation is over. Everything's done on the ward manual. All that. All the investigation's done, and they're going to keep him. But it was just that was a Michigan thing. Now they admitted that they had already broken rules. Is the NCAA going to step in on that? I'm still waiting for that. I just they pick and they choose who gets the hammer and who doesn't get the hammer. It's unbelievable. I used to laugh back in the day when they used to say that Kentucky basketball they were getting drilled, but 20 other teams were doing exactly what Kentucky was doing. I don't know. Some people get like a bone in their butts about certain schools, I guess, man. I just we have had how many things happening at Ohio State, Michigan, USC. All of them have had sexual stuff. Doctors, coaches, professors doing whatever. You only hear about Penn State. It's just insane. The Larry Nassar thing at Michigan State comes up a little bit, but not as much as it should. It just absolutely just drives me bonkers, the whole thing. Listen, I'm as far from a Miami fan as you get, but they got screwed a couple years ago when they they had all those suspensions without Golden going down there and all. What the hell did they do? They were doing what everybody else was doing. They just got caught doing it. And to lay the hammer down the way they did, that just seemed personal. And to not punish some of the same people, a.k.a. North Carolina, fake majors, fake classes, the epitome of what the NCAA stands for.
Or so we thought.
Yes. I mean, one of their players was academic all ACC.
They touted.
He's illiterate. He's illiterate. Just makes me sick to my stomach. Thanks, Jeff.
Well, no, but I mean,
that's how we end the show.
Everybody keeps talking about we've got to get rules in place, and I agree, and that
enforce them.
Is
yes,
important. But equally important, maybe more important, is again, it has to be clear cut how it will be adjudicated, and I don't know. The other part of it is like, do the conferences all chip in? Do the schools all chip in to provide the mechanism for the investigations to occur? And
speedier.
That's another
speedier.
That's another whole part to getting this to where it is truly a workable situation. Like the NFL right now, even though I think some of the rules are absolutely ridiculous when it comes to like the eye black or what you have on your cleats, but hey, at least it like the rules are clear cut, and violators are, again, I would argue maybe to too great of an extent, but they're treated the same, so that somebody that has their dad who just passed away and their eyeliner is treated the same as somebody who's getting paid $50,000 by their buddy's bike company to put the bike company's name on their eye black. To me, those are two different things. The NFL will tell you just can't have anything in your eye black that is other than the eye black or whatever it may be. I'm using that as an example. But again, at least you know, all right, these are the rules. You violate the rules. This is the sanction. And you feel confident.
Yes.
I mean, I think folks in the NFL, have there been people that have probably cheated drug tests and all that? Yep. Okay. I mean, like there are people that are going to be able to skirt the rules or the laws. We get it. But do you feel like the NFL has people that are on the lookout and that they're proactively trying to make sure, do everything they can to make sure that there is not cheating, that things are on an even level playing field, relatively speaking? Yes, you do.
And you want to be confident in that.
Same with, you have no confidence, nor should you, in college sports right now, and really you haven't for the last 40 years plus.
This is in no way, shape, or form is this political, but if we had a pandemic tomorrow or in the next couple of weeks, how many people in this country you think are going to trust this government and the CDC with what went on yesterday?
That's another.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's the same way I feel about the NCAA. It's like, I don't have faith in it.
Correct.
There's no faith.
No, it has. So I believe it has to be a different organization. It could be set up very similar, but I think there just needs to be the at least the four major conferences at the very least need to get together and figure out whether you call it a commissioner or a commissioner's office, but have a centralized office that handles and adjudicates the cases. And again, you've got to have enough investigators that you feel confident that you're not going to have something slip through the cracks for a decade. And oh my gosh, we've now
let's go back on this.
And so again, it's got to be, hey, we're getting whispers about this or that. And again, you set out the rules, hopefully pretty much common sense rules, clear cut, everybody knows them. And again, is there going to be probably some people that get away with stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and the Patriots got away. Yeah, you're going to have it. You're going to have stuff that people get away with. But by and large, right, you feel like, it's everything's pretty much on the up and up. Like as much as you can enforce it. And, the other part with college football, and we've talked about this before, in college athletics, I guess, in general, but the biggest part of this investigative arm is going to be on the gambling front. And that's also the most challenging because, again, some things are, I think, pretty easy and obvious to pick up. A game between two unranked teams and whether or not one kid gets over 100 yards rushing and that kid slips on the final play of the game and finishes with 99. Again, it's going to raise eyebrows. Yep. But if it's 5 people that were in on it, I mean, how – like that to me is the biggest challenge just in sports in general. And that's not a college sports thing. I think, we're seeing the NBA trying to get caught up on stuff. I mean, that is, I do not envy the leagues and the organizations that are having to do everything they can because for a fan, that's the most important thing, right? Is we want this to be on the up and up. We don't want it to be a professional wrestling situation where the result is predetermined. We want to know and trust that this is, hey, everybody's out there giving it their best. And some days you have it, some days you don't, whatever. When that starts to erode significantly, and again, instinctively, we all know, there's some stuff going on out there that we don't know about. Probably never will know about, but there's some people that are doing some shady things. Yeah, but you want to feel overall, right, that, this is by and large on the up and up.
I know Miami got in trouble with the Pell Grant situation, but then they researched that they had to go back times. But yes, you are completely right with the gambling thing. What's to stop a kid from doing it, you're going to say there's no gambling allowed. I mean, they've been saying in the NFL there's no gambling allowed in the NFL for decades. Guys been getting in trouble with gambling in a long time. Michael Jordan had a notorious gambling problem, but he was always in Las Vegas or Atlantic City. But hey, guess what? Now he can do it his own home now or any city. Again, you just got to have the faith in an organization, and that faith is not the NCAA. I'm
with
the 4
you.
Conferences came up, but I don't know if I could trust do you like? I'll give you a story. Roger Goodell, when he came into the NFL, he was a mean son of a gun. He was suspending guys, and he had a pretty much just like an iron fist with how he suspended guys and stuff like that for what he was suspending and what he was finding them for. Guys were getting mad. Guys were getting furious and this and that, But he kept it like on the up and up. Like it was, okay, you did this, you're getting the same punishment as the same guy as this guy who did the same damn thing. It wasn't like, pick and chooses who gets in trouble and the punishments. Goodell was great at that, but now he has really regressed in the last dozen or so years with who he picks and chooses who and what gets picked out and fined and this and that. But yet makes deals with all these gambling companies and everything sponsored by gambling. But it's just the hypocrisy of the whole thing. Do you think we could find the 4 conferences when they break apart and they just call it the conference, the four conference? Can they come up with somebody who could do that? Can they all agree on like a Condoleezza Rice, but she's in charge of everything and of who is getting suspended, who is
and again, it could be a group. It doesn't necessarily have to be one individual.
The group's not time then you get the group. Then it's a time issue, in my opinion.
Yeah, no. I think you can just you sit in.
I marvel the Tennessee guy gets suspended this fast. Unheard of.
This is bonkers to me. That this is how they're spending their time. In the NCAA office. Again, maybe if you get wind of it, you investigate and call the guy, hey, give us the 427.
But what's amazing, Jeff?
I guess if that's what
it's the whole signing with the agent thing.
That is
that's what got the kid in trouble. It's the signing with the agent. because
which you can sign with agents. You just can't sign with agents for the NFL draft, which I just think is.
But the basketball guys
hilarious.
can go to the NBA draft.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And then the combine.
It's
as long as they don't sign with an agent, they can come back.
With an agent for the NBA, but they can have an agent. That's what I'm saying. The whole thing is just, it's to me.
The fact that the guy doesn't have an agent already
patently absurd.
I didn't think about that either.
But that's another thing that maybe is included in the legislation is that, hey, yeah, they're getting money. They can get agents and have the agents
everybody
do
should
what
have an
agents
agent.
do. Yes, and that
But they need
includes
to
looking
be-
out for their pro prospects.
They
as
need to
agents
be-
in any other field would do.
Like any other agent, they need to be verified and okayed because you just can't have
that's
some guy.
fine.
I'm repping my nephew Johnny.
Yep, that's fine. Have yes, but again, they've got to get some uniformity figured out, and then how the investigative arm is paid, and yes, how to try to ensure trust in that arm of it, because you're right. Once you lose trust, and I'm with you. I think the pandemic is a great thing. Yeah, if we have another one, the number of people that are like, I don't, whether or not they tell you everything accurately, and once trust is lost with an individual or an organization, it is really hard to earn it back, right? Like, I mean, if you're
sure,
if you get burned by somebody,
Scorned
that's-
lover, baby.
Yep, it is really, really hard to earn that trust back, and I just don't know, honestly, at this point, that there's anything the NCAA could do. Certainly, this is not. This Tennessee situation is not going to help the NCAA earn back any trust with anybody anywhere. We trust that you will have a great weekend. We will be back on Tuesday. Until then, be good, be safe, and let's go Bucks.
You look a bit nervous, hey?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA Sports Authority. WFXS America.